In time division, two players will each join a time agency and travel to different periods in history. There, they must influence important characters to gain control of the era and secure their continued existence in the newly formed timeline. Time division is a two-player card game that takes 20 minutes per era to play. The game can be played over the course of a single era for a quick game or as a full 3-era campaign. Each era has 2 phases, draft and play. The player with the most total influence points wins the era. Choose an era to play. This video focuses on the Ancient Egypt era, but the setup for any single era game will follow the same instructions. First, pick sides and place the board in the center of the table between you. Next, flip the metal coin and put it on the matching space to determine the starting player. Place the assembled card platforms on their matching spaces following the indicated orientation and color. Take the cards for your chosen era. Remove the 2 time travelers with a star from the deck and return them to the game box. These are only used in a campaign across all 3 eras. Shuffle the remaining 18 cards and split them into 2 equal stacks. Place 1 stack face down on each of the temporary spaces. There are 5 locations on the board: the independent stack, each player's decision space and temporary space, the past, and each player's influence area where they attempt to bank points during the era. Lastly, players have a hand of cards, which is also considered a location. There are 2 colors used in time division, red and blue. All blue icons refer to you. All red icons refer to your rival. In the draft phase, players simultaneously draw 3 cards from the stack on their temporary space. Of these 3 cards, choose and distribute cards face down in any order. Place 1 in front of yourself. Place 1 card in front of your rival. And place 1 card in the independent stack. Repeat until all 18 era cards are divided equally among you, your rival, and the independent stack. Take all 6 cards in front of you as your hand. This phase consists of 6 rounds. Each round follows this procedure. The player with the coin plays 1 card from their hand face up to their decision space. Afterwards, the other player plays 1 card from their hand face up into their decision space. Compare the influence value in the top left corner of both cards. Move the coin to the side with the higher influence. If both cards are of the same influence value, the coin stays where it is. The coin owner now decides what happens to the 2 played cards. 1 card's effect is triggered by its owner and is moved to the past. The other card is collected to the influence area of its owner. It's important to remember that triggering a card happens first before collecting. The effect of the triggered card is resolved by its owner. Each effect row shows from left to right which location a specific card is taken, what you do with it, and where you put it. The standard effect of a triggered card must be completely resolved for the effect to take place. If any requirement cannot be met, the card effect is ignored. You can still choose to trigger such a card for no effect. After the effect is executed, the card moves from the owner's decision space to the past. The other card is collected by its owner by moving it from their decision space to their influence area. Repeat this procedure for all cards in hand. Then proceed to the end of an era and scoring. All special effect rows appear on a colored bar. This color indicates the type of effect. Delayed cards have a black bar. Their effect is triggered in the next round and then moved to the past. Check cards have an orange bar. This card requires a condition to be met by a player. If met, orange then activates the effect row under the bar. Modified influence cards have a pink bar, and the icons only apply during scoring and only if the card is rotated. Essentially, it increases the influence value of that card. An era ends after both players' hands are empty and all cards are resolved. Each player adds up the influence values of all cards in their influence area. The player with the most total influence wins the era. In case of a tie, The player with the coin wins. You don't need to learn much, as the symbols on the cards refer to the locations on the board. The effects are relatively easy once you connect the symbols with where cards are placed. I know you'll have a great time playing Time Division.